Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Quaint. Today we uncover one of the most powerful and lesser known health facts for women. Breastfeeding significantly reduces the risk of breast cancer. Yes, breastfeeding is not just a nourishment for a baby. It is one of nature's most powerful mechanisms for mothers. And this is the topic of discussion in our today's video. Breast cancer risk is strongly linked to lifetime exposure to estrogen. And you know that estrogen helps breasts develop. But excessive and uninterrupted exposure to estrogen increases the risk of uncontrolled cell growth. So you know that during lactation what happens? Ovulation is suppressed. During lactation or breastfeeding, ovulation is suppressed, which means estrogen levels drop and which directly reduces the cancer triggering hormonal stimulation of breast cells. So every month without ovulation is like giving the breast cells a protective break. Okay, so this was the first reason. Okay, drop in estrogen levels, because if estrogen levels are high, in that case risk of breast cancer is high. Next reason is this breastfeeding. This procedure, this process actually pushes the breast cells, okay, into a more mature and stable state. Because immature breast cells, these are most vulnerable to turning cancerous. Yes, immature breast cells. Okay, immature breast cells are most vulnerable to turning cancerous, and if they become mature and stable, in that case risk of breast cancer is decreased. And this happens, the breast cells become more mature and stable during that phase of breastfeeding or lactation. So here the breast cells are less likely to mutate, and it becomes easier for the body to repair the cells. Okay, because during lactation the breast cells become mature and it makes the breast cells stable. So this was the second reason. Breast cells are becoming mature and stable, more mature and stable during breastfeeding. This was the second reason. Third reason is that that is called actually post-breastfeeding involution. Means after breastfeeding ends, the breast undergoes a process called involution. During this phase, actually what happens? Cleanup process occurs. Okay, and cleanup, not only cleanup, remodeling also occurs. Means this is known as, actually this involution process, this is known as a remodeling phase, cleanup and remodeling phase. So what happens here in this phase? In this phase actually healthy tissues replace the old structures. Again, means cells which are likely to develop cancer. Means better to say potentially cancerous cells are removed, and old and damaged cells are cleared out. So this is what? This is nothing like a cleanup process. Okay. So you can think of it like a deep detox for breast cells or breast tissues. Deep detox. You can consider like this. Okay. So this process is known as post-breastfeeding involution process. Okay. Here in this case, what happens? Here in this phase, what happens? Remodeling and cleanup. These two things happen. Next is, oxytocin. During breastfeeding, levels of oxytocin means there is a rise in the levels of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone known as bonding hormone, but it does more than increase love and emotional bonding. Yes, this increase in oxytocin does more than love and bonding, because it reduces the stress hormones. This increase in oxytocin reduces the stress hormones, and when stress are lowered, in that case chances of cancer, that is also lowered, because lower stress means lower risk of cancer. Okay, so many reasons are there, you can see. Next question is, how long if a woman undergoes this breastfeeding process? So what is the benefit? Means quantitative benefit. So studies have shown that continuous breastfeeding for 12 months across all children. Okay, across all children, time limit is what? It is 12 months. So there is a reduction in the risk by almost 4 to 5%. And for prolonged duration, reduction in risk is more for prolonged duration. For only 12 months, this was the study, okay. For only 12 months, there is a reduction in 4 to 5%. Even in case of partial breastfeeding, that is also beneficial. In case of partial breastfeeding, okay, that is means women must get some benefit. And what is the benefit we are talking about here in this video? We are talking about reduction in the risk of developing breast cancer. So whether partial breastfeeding is beneficial or not, answer to that question is yes. Partial breastfeeding is also beneficial. Means women get benefit from partial breastfeeding also. Okay, so what this was all about today's topic. Okay, so now you know that breastfeeding is not just nourishment for a baby. This is known to all. Breastfeeding is essential. Breastfeeding is essential for babies. Okay, there is no substitute for breast milk. These things are known to everybody. But one more thing is there. Very important thing, that is breastfeeding reduces the risk of developing breast cancer. This is the most important one. Both are important. Okay. Anyway, so this was all about today's video. If you found this video informative, so please like, share and subscribe to our channel. This is the end. Thanks for watching.